Okay, I must have some confidence because we're going to inspect the garage overhead door opener while my little Bonnie cart is parked underneath it. So what I've done is I've disengaged the door lock and allowed the door to come partially down. This is a test. This is a test so that we know that the springs are properly adjusted. It's not pulling it up. It's not impossible to lower it. It's in a good place. It's in a good place. So we're going to start at the beginning and work our way. We're in a little one-car garage here. And this is our warning notice. This is a good thing. It's posted next to the control button. Control button's illuminated. This is a good thing. Now, the control button is too low. I mean, I am vertically challenged. This is down here. It should be a minimum of 5 feet above the floor so that little hands can't get up there. So I understand that, you know, there's probably not going to be a lot of children playing in this garage, but I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules. So if you want to know what the rules are, the manufacturer thinks that this should be a minimum of 5 feet away from the floor. Speaking of away from the floor, we've got our optic sensors over here. And our optic sensors are closer to the garage floor than 6 inches, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. We've got our spring tension notices posted on each corner of the door. That's a good thing. Okay, we've got another warning notice. This one's got a little more literature on it, but it serves a similar function as that notice down there, and that's our warning notice that's supposed to be posted on the door. Coming on along, we've got our door opener. It's on a GFCI protected circuit, so that's all a good thing. That's all a good thing. But I'm finding, one other thing that I'm finding is that the manual door lock has not been decommissioned. I could close the door right now and wreck this door. You could close the door and lock it, and then somebody forgets, and it would wreck this door. If you have an emergency where your motor goes out or something, maybe you want to use that lock. But in the meantime, there should be a bolt put in there to keep it from being accidentally engaged, or you could loosen this bolt and then turn it out and then put the bolt back so it doesn't come back. And then, in case of an emergency, an event, you can always recommission the lock. But in the interim, while we're here now, the lock should have been decommissioned. Now, I do not do block tests for the emergency door opener. Do no harm. It's a business decision that I made. It's on my inspection agreement posted on the website. It's on my the inspection agreement that my dear client signed. And I'm telling you now that I just test the optic sensor. That's the way I test the door opener since day one. So we're going to open this thing up. We're going to see how the lights work, how the reverse works. We're going to see these things. And hopefully it doesn't crush the Bonnie cart. She usually makes a cameo. There we go. Nice quiet operation, nice smooth glide. Now, you might want to buy, or I recommend that you buy an aerosol can of door grease. And you don't want to over grease it. You're not trying to, rebuild something here, but about twice a year you should hit the roller wheels with the grease. And then you can wipe off the excess and hit the hinges with the grease. And that's it. That's it. You do not have a chain up here that's belt driven. You do not need to grease that. But you should grease these so that it continues to operate nice and smooth for you. So we're going to hit this button, and then I'm going to trudge across the tundra, and I'm going to take my big old flat zombie hoof, and I'm going to break the beam. And that's how we know I'm going to be a dancing fool here. That's how we know the safety reverse works, and we can see that our courtesy luminary is working. So everything about this door is peachy fine. Its operation is peachy fine. The only things I can complain about, is the manual door lock. That's probably the most important to prevent you from accidentally crushing your door. And then the control button is a little bit on the low side. And then garage spares. It's all tight. It's clean. The GFCI works over here, and that should control the. See, went off. And I'm going to reset the button. Hey! And the light comes on. It might have just been timing. Oh, there it went off. It went off. Okay. So that works. Bonus round. Yay! Bonus round. Okay. See these cracks in the concrete like this? These are normal. Okay. The builder will tell you concrete gets hard and cracks. Ha 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 ha. And he's right. This is the joke, but it does. There's a few guidelines that I use. I've chosen to use based on the experience of others that have shared their knowledge with me. And if the crack is wider at the perimeter than it is in the middle, then that's something to make note of, to pay attention to. And it's not. That's on the corner, so it's like for which perimeter, so I get that. Then, like I said, it's a guideline. Is the crack wider than a 32nd of an inch? And it's not. Is it wider than a 32nd of an inch more than one location? And again, it's not. And is it in plane? And it is, which is a good thing. So these cracks, nobody likes them. And you're not going to get crack envy. Your neighbors are going to say, oh, you've got some of those typical cracks. I wish I had cracks like that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But these cracks are not a problem. So, now, should you ignore them? No. You want to pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to your environment. Watch them. But they're, today, they're fine.